What's good? You rocking with your boy TheCzarr, all rights reserved, back with it. Now, let's ask this. Is DJ AKADEMIKS a raider? Shout to Dawn, allowing me to see that. Now, I want to ask a couple of questions. What is it that made DJ AKADEMIKS' breakout story? Was it not the war in Chiraq? Well, when I look back on this war in Chiraq, as I watched most of the episodes recently, it really made me think something about satire and the legacy of many different artists that were in Chicago separated. Shout to Chicago. Hit that like button. Hit that like button if you got respect for Chicago. It really made me think so. What is it we do? What is it in the power of media that we contribute? And I want to say this. Was DJ AKADEMIKS a raider? And if you are a true TheCzarr fan, you should already be aware of what that means. So I'm going to send him the fishes, because something's fishy to me. Now, I looked over a lot of things, and I thought about a story he did around that time. And I asked myself, this story blew up the net at that time. It had a lot of views. It was picked up by major labels and people. AKADEMIKS, were you aware of this? Were you aware of what that story was? No, let me ask you this. Did you talk to TheCzarr before you did that story? And did you talk to him at all during that story? If you have receipts to show that, that's fine. But I know you're probably not. You like sitting back quiet, even when you were accused of other things. And the only thing you did was speak when you threatened to sue people as a true simp. Because now we got Selena Powell walking around like she's some type of star when she's just getting busted down by multiple people in the industry, which is a fact. She's having sexual relations, even at one time allegedly with 6ix9ine. Even at one time allegedly trying to claim she had the baby of another superstar, which turned out to be a lie. What's all this about? But you're sitting in a hotel like I was at one point, copying the swag, copying the style, just overall sitting there with her like we don't know that you were probably, allegedly, doing your thing in there. You think you get clout points for that? Well, how about this? The war in Chiraq. Now, I want everybody to go back and check out his series. Tell me, do you think it's plausible that this series did not alert rival gangs in the situation? Did it not? Did it not? Look at the comments. Read through the comments of some of these videos. Read different things that were said as people were watching what he was doing. And tell me you don't think that's plausible. Let me go a little bit deeper. Since you're going to say, oh, this is random, this is hating. I'm hating. I'm hating. Why is it that you haven't set foot in Chicago? Why is it that you aren't walking around in Chicago if I'm hating? You did a whole series on it. I've already been to Florida. Absolutely, I was in Florida. But you haven't even been to Chicago. Let alone, here's what's curious to me. Now, I will give you this credit. You said you didn't think 6ix9ine snitched. You're standing for your guy, respectfully. And I don't know if I agree with you again. It could go either way. We don't really know. We don't have details to show. Some people say they got paperwork. I haven't seen it with my own eyes. I can't say. But then again, why are you always hanging around? Now, here's the thing. People are saying he did this and that. But you were right beside the guy. Throughout everything he was going through, you were hanging out with him frequently. Yay or nay? So, if we're going to sit back and talk about the way things are going, why would you not be questioned deeply in the situation if you were hanging out so much? Then again, we didn't even get the name or the persona of the person that was the inside man they claimed. Why was that? Not that you know, but I'm asking in general, why was that to everyone? Now, if I'm sitting back thinking about things logically, why are all these people always bringing your name up when things are happening? Then I have receipts. Yes, I cannot show, as a promise, where I have funny business alleging that a story you did put pigs on his head. And when I say his head, I mean allegedly TheCzarr received a thorough investigation after media you released. Isn't that questionable? Now, not that they seen it where you're at, but your story release caught wind on major sites. Major. You seem to consecutively blow up off of the backs and goods of others. Now, let me tell you the difference between us. Because as you do your media, aren't you literally just the news? Aren't you literally just a news entity? So why is a news entity that's just supposed to talk about news given 4-minute snippets of their opinion to define a situation for an audience? Isn't that what you do best? You define a situation for your audience. But in the end, what disturbs me is the angle with X. How did you define that story? How did you find it appropriate to show malicious nature in him getting upset when we see you yelling at a woman that claimed you were allegedly an abuser? Really? Why didn't you do a story on yourself? Why didn't you do a story on yourself? TheCzarr always talks big about himself, negative or positive. I let people know. I let them know what I was thinking. I let them know what I was doing. But it seems you haven't. Not only did you not, no one has forgot the series that made you who you are, that gave you the opportunities you are, in my opinion. You let it rock for a long time. You got mad views, mad video. It just went crazy. Why'd you allegedly do things that way, but then you stopped doing the series? Why? Why the abrupt stop? If it's so innocent what you did, why didn't you keep doing it? You were blowing up. Was there a reason behind it? Was it because you realized people weren't digging it? Because allegedly things were being lost because of what you were doing in your media. Pain was going to certain people because of how you did your media in the series. Is that true or not? If it's not, show receipts and say it's not. Show proof. Now, I gave you the opportunity to show proof when you were the one who was an alleged person of interest towards AR Ab's situation. I gave a pass, and I can tell you Philly people weren't happy. That I know. That I know. At all. At all. Matter of fact, to this day, I don't know if you're good there. But I'm going to say this. If views and respect is going to go to someone like this, if you're going to talk big because of opportunity you created for yourself, when some of the very same people you mentioned in your 188 video display is now deceased, what proof do you have to tell us that these situations did not spark anything? Not one story you did. Not one story you did didn't spark anything. Can you do that? Are you able to do that? See, because there's a lot of people that like throwing around legal challenges, but when their situation gets looked at in depth, it's not funny anymore. Your satire that made people snicker and things, did they realize it was talking about the real life occurrences of people's life? Now, I told people multiple times, the type of people I have that actually watch me. I told people multiple times that I have some real people that hook up on my channel and watch. So best believe I have a reason for even bringing this up, speaking to you. You're not in the clear, my friend. Don't think you're clear. No, you're not in the clear. I don't care who you hang around, what you're doing. You're not in the clear. Matter of fact, this is just the beginning. And I want you to know that TheCzarr is aware of having watched it, and he's aware of everyone you spoke about. Everybody. You know how I rock. All rights reserved.